The Tree of New Eden is one of the greatest icons of Far Cry New Dawn, allowing for the player to gain all sorts of new abilities like double jump, dealing more damage, or being able to vanish. But how does it really work in lore? Well, today we're going to be discussing that. But first, if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe. So, how exactly was the tree created in the first place? Well, whenever we approach the tree, we can actually see barrels of Bliss inside of the water. However, all of its effects don't come just from the Bliss, as Hope County was also ground zero for nuclear fallout and radiation, which means that the tree was essentially grown from a mixture of radiation and Bliss. This can be seen from the types of powers that we're able to get from it. Since if you compare the powers that we have as someone who has eaten the Apple of Eden to the powers of an angel, which were the Far Cry 5 zombies, you start to see a lot of comparisons. Angels were able to tank multiple shots, oftentimes requiring a headshot to actually take them down. They were also incredibly strong, but they were also mindless. And the Apple of Eden, what it essentially is it's a watered-down version of the Bliss. It's not enough to take our minds and turn us into a mindless zombie, but it's enough that it gives us some bonuses. Not all of the effects of the angels, it doesn't make us as strong as they are, but it gives us some of the abilities without all the drawbacks an angel would have. But you might be thinking, if the apples are purely based off the Bliss, why are some people able to eat them while others go absolutely crazy and turn into a massive mutant like Ethan? Well, that comes down to a thing called previous exposure. See, the security captain wasn't the first person to eat the apples. Joseph ate the apples, his chosen ate the apples, there were others that ate them before us. The reason we were able to survive was previous exposure to the Bliss. See, Joseph was one of the people who helped create the Bliss, so he had been around it for a very long time. His chosen, who would certainly not pass a spirit cleansing test, were able to survive because they had previous exposure to the Bliss as well. The chosen were Joseph's elite soldiers. They guarded his siblings, and if they had been around Faith for any amount of time, they would have had more than enough Bliss to build up any level of exposure. And as for the security captain, we might not have been exposed to the Bliss for very long, but when we lit the fires of New Eden, we were able to get some exposure to the Bliss, and that helped us to build a higher level of tolerance, which allowed us to survive consuming the apple. But for poor Ethan, when he decided that he wanted to consume an apple, it was his first taste of the Bliss. His body had no previous exposure, he didn't have time to adapt, which resulted in him becoming overwhelmed. And to confirm that all this is caused by the Bliss, when you hear Ethan run off, his groans sound very similar to those of an angel, so obviously the Bliss is affecting him. But why did Ethan become a massive mutant? Well, that comes down to the radiation side of things. As if you survived eating the apple, your body was handling with the radiation, and the Bliss didn't really have much effect on you outside of your mind, all because of previous exposure. But the Bliss wound up overwhelming Ethan's body, and then the radiation caused him to transform. Basically, he ate a blissed up nuclear apple completely raw without prepping his immune system first, and wound up having it backfire. This is why, when Ethan is a massive mutant, all of his projectiles that he hurls, if they wind up hitting you, you see not only a Bliss-like vision distortion, but you also can hear the Bliss sound play. And then, after Ethan's defeat, the tree was destroyed by Joseph, for two reasons. Firstly, it had just caused him to lose his son. This was the last member of the Seed family that Joseph still had, so he was destroying the tree a bit out of anger. But also, if he allowed the tree to survive, and he wasn't protecting it, it would destroy the entire idea of him being a prophet. Because Joseph was saying that it was all based off of your soul, yet if that was the case, none of his chosen would have made it. Plus, all of the different things that we see when we activate our abilities all tie back to the Bliss. The Wrath vision distortion looks like a Bliss vision distortion. We see white particles come out of our hands when we transform in the cutscene that look identical to what we see from the Bliss. So Joseph was ensuring that no one was able to ever challenge the idea that he was a prophet by destroying the tree. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Also, go check out my Discord server, link to that in the description below. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.